Chi l'ha visto, direttore creativo, cercasi chi è oggi il direttore creativo, ma oggi insomma abbiamo l'onore di avere un pezzo, lo posso dire, da 90 perché siamo con Dr. Stephan Vogel, Chief Creative Officer Ogilvy EMEA. Nice to meet you. You are a wonderful player.
I started during the pandemic. I always wanted that, but I had my life at the airports because I'm traveling a lot. I'm responsible for 50 offices in 35 countries. And so through the lockdown, my life has changed a lot. And so finally, after so many years, I found the time to teach myself a little bit of piano.
It's wonderful. But I would know one question. How does it mean today to be a creative director? How has this role changed over the year?
I think the communication landscape is very, very different from like 20 years ago. And it is a challenging thing, multidiscipline, so you have to think about so much more different channels. It's more collaborative. It's not only you together with your team of creatives, it's you together with media agency people, it's you together with productions, it's you together with UX designers, it's you together with people who can do things in artificial intelligence, and it's you together with the representatives of the big platforms like Google, Facebook, and all that. So it's a more complex job, it's more open, and it's more collaborative.
You are Chief Creative Officer, EMEA Ogilvy, no? We said and we know. But how do you relate with such a wide network made of so different culture?
The cultural split, so I'm responsible for 50 offices from Stockholm down to Cape Town, including Central Africa, so including the Middle East. And so, for example, Ogilvy Nairobi, for the first time this year, they won a gold lion in Cannes, and they also won a yellow pencil at D&AD. So I'm creating a very collaborative spirit between all the offices. So on Mondelez, for example, we are working together with Ingo Stockholm, David Madrid, Ogilvy Berlin, Ogilvy Warsaw, Ogilvy Paris. So it's, and they are all working together like they were one team, and this is important. And for example, next week I'm having a one-day Zoom meeting where all the officers and the leaders of the offices are coming together and showing their best work, inspiring each other, but also, you know, guiding each other.
Is creativity meant global or the local logics becoming protagonists again?
Even if you work for global brands, they are looking for local insights. So if you want to be relevant in your market, then you have to work on local cultural tensions. You have to look for local insights. For example, Ogilvy Spain, they were working for Cruzcampo beer and really digging out the roots of their culture and created a platform which says it's heavily accented, you know, because it comes from Andalusia. Andalusia in the south has a very strong accent, and they brought the personality of this beer together with the personality of where it comes from. And so, yeah, yes, as a big marketer, you have to think about cultural values that are universal, but you also have to think about local insights to double down on local target audiences.
Brands aim to emerge, to be remembered and chosen, but it is increasingly difficult to be memorable. Are you agree?
It was always difficult to be memorable, and even Ogilvy in the 40s, he created the man with the Hathaway shirt. You know, it was not just a man with a shirt, but a man with an eye patch and a shirt. And his eye patch made him special, you know. It was a British product, and so this was a code for, I was fighting in the colony wars, right? And so since the start of advertising 150 years ago, it was always difficult to be different, and it was always difficult to be memorable. And that's what we're here for, you know. And the better the agency, the more memorable she can make the advertising, and the more relevant. So it's not only memorable. Today, more and more, it matters like make brands relevant, you know, so to make people feel like this brand thinks and feels like I do. So, for example, with Dove, for Real Beauty, we created a global campaign over 20 years, which is super distinctive and super memorable, and which is meant to connect emotionally to the consumers.
I completely agree. It was a wonderful case, absolutely. At IF, you bring a speech titled "See what others don't see." But what does it mean? What we have to see and others don't see?
Yeah, number one, to have something unique and memorable, you have to find your own insights. And therefore, it's two ways to get them. Number one, you can go somewhere and dig for facts and dig for things that others are not aware of. So, for example, in a pitch, you can dig down to the roots of the brand and what was the beginning story, what did the founder think, what is he looking for, and is this kind of what this founder was looking for still the guiding star of the company, which it often is. So Carl Benz, for example, had a vision, you know, which called the best or nothing for Mercedes-Benz cars. And it was pretty much their guiding star over now, let's say, 130 years. So you can look somewhere in the archives, you can look for exceptional media spaces, for example, that others don't see, like Ogilvy Milan did this beautiful karaoke, Staraoke Up in the Sky, so they discovered a media space that others didn't discover. So look somewhere else is one of the two principles to see what others don't see. And the other thing is like look at the same thing, but think, and if the pieces of the puzzle can't create a new picture. So science always did it. So Copernicus, when he was looking at the same data as Ptolemaios, he asked, what if not the Earth is in the center of the universe and all the stars and the moon are turning around it? Maybe what if the Earth is something that turns around the sun and the other stars are suns which are very far away? And then he created a complete new way to see things. And then Newton came and said, well, what if this whole thing can be described with just 3 simple laws? Yeah, and then Einstein looked again at the same thing and got a new perspective. So the data are the same. So what we can do in a creative way, we can look at the brief, we can look at the brand, and we can see if we see something falling together, so creating out of the same pieces of the puzzle, by turning them around, turning them upside down, a complete new picture. So these are the two things that you can see that others don't see. So look somewhere where nobody's looking to find something that nobody's seen, do something out of it. The other thing is look at the same brief that everyone, look at the same brand that maybe other agencies are also looking at, and turn things around until they create a new kind of picture.
How do you see the future of agency and also creative jobs?
I think some years ago everybody was questioning, is an advertising agency a model for the future, or would not agency people rather work at the platforms at Google, or would they rather work for the clients, or aren't they dissolving towards media? But still, I've got the feeling that the environment that good creatives feel most comfortable with are agencies. Be a creative amongst creatives, having this kind of inspirational spirit, people who think like you and feel like you around you, having this competitive spirit within the agency or with, we are very competitive but also very supportive. So, and that's how we manage to be the best region. Europe, Ogilvy, EMEA is the best region in the most creative network. So we won Network of the Year in Cannes. We right now won Network of the Year at London International, and we won in Europe Best Network regionally. And this is out of the culture and the competitive but also supportive spirit. And so I think the agency as the biotope for creatives has a long-lasting future.
Last question. We are in Italy, we are in Milano. Are you proud about Ogilvy Italia?
Oh, absolutely. So I know Giuseppe for a long time, Lavinia and Francesco. And Giuseppe, for example, he's great in doing very emotional films. This year they took a big leap and got international recognition for this fantastic project for the new client, Prime Video, Staraoke. On top of it, Giuseppe, for example, is an exceptional photography artist, so he's got his own exhibition. So yes, I'm very proud and I'm very happy and humbled that Giuseppe invited me to come here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.